order the public hearing on the city's plan to issue bonds in connection with the stormwater bonds. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano.
Here.
Alderman Jacob.
Here.
Alderman Messina.
Here.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Here.
Alderman Sismarski. Alderman E. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman R. Wesley. Alderman Woods.
As always, here.
Mayor Police.
Here. We begin tonight with a public hearing for the issuance of bonds to finance the capital projects, including the water main and stormwater improvements for the Wooddale and Commercial Redevelopment Project area. This hearing is being held pursuant to the Bond Issue Notification Act and the Local Government Debt Reform Act. In accordance with Illinois law, the notice of this public hearing was printed in the Daily Herald newspaper on September 13th, 2019. The purpose of this hearing is to explain the reasons for the proposed bond issue, which is for certain stormwater improvements. Persons desiring to be heard will have an opportunity to present written or oral testimony regarding stormwater bond issue to the council. Mr. Wilson, will you provide a summary of the purpose of the proposed bond issue?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, so the purpose of the stormwater bonds is to, super simplified version, is to help flooding in and around the area around Potter and Prospect. As you're all aware, the city did a stormwater master plan a number of years ago, and there were 5 areas over in that region that were identified as need of work. The first phase of that was 2 years ago, was the Squaw Creek project. This year, the city's completed the Dalewood project, the line down Dalewood. And then in an effort to keep things moving and to get some relief for those residents, specifically around the Potter and Prospect area, we did flip-flop 2 of the sections of this project. And so this was kind of in the Robinson presentation, the red section. So that is what we're going to be moving forward with, which is storm sewers, again, along the Potter and Prospect area going down to the recently installed storm drain on Dalewood.
Thank you. Anyone interested in addressing the city council regarding the proposed bond issue may do so at this time. Okay. No one? I will now entertain a motion to close the public
I'll make
hearing.
the motion. Second.
Alderman Woods and Alderman Jacob second. We need a roll call for the hearing?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Public hearing is now adjourned. Thank you. Next, call the city council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano.
Here.
Alderman Jacob.
Here.
Alderman Messina.
Here.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Here.
Alderman Sismarski. Alderman E. Wesley. Still here. Alderman R. Wesley. Alderman Woods.
Here.
Mayor Police.
Here, I declare a quorum present. Please stand and join the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, I need a motion to approve the minutes of September 5th. We have a motion, we have a second. Who second?
Sonny.
Sonny, okay. Any questions, comments, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Do any citizens wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda? Okay, I do have one written communique. To whom it may concern, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Alderman Jacob and Messina for their effort to get necessary repairs of Route 83. Has made a substantial difference in the amount of noise created by the trucks on behalf of the residents of 121 Spruce Avenue. We cannot thank them enough. Good job, guys.
Good job.
Under Mayor's report, I will turn this over to the chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If I could have Officer Regula, Drost, Tauman, and Fajardo come up here and join us. And Charlie, if you want to come up too. Yes, come on. So we're here tonight to recognize our 4 officers who wrote the most DUI arrests last year. It's something we do every year, and it's a familiar face that's with us tonight to everyone on the council here, I know. But it's an important thing that we recognize, and one of the types of things that they can proactively do to help make Wooddale safer. And you know, as we know with DUIs, you never know how many lives they've impacted, but certainly we know over the years a lot of lives have been saved by their proactive efforts. Before I turn over the floor to Charlie Woolley from the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists, as you know, Charlie came into our lives in a tragedy 19 years ago now. But what I would like to recognize her for too is turning that tragedy into hoping, you know, to prevent similar tragedies from happening to other families that her family unfortunately had to go through. So we're thankful for our partnership for her, even though it started certainly in a way that we didn't want it. But we have a partner in the community in trying to prevent future DUIs, and we're forever grateful for that. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Charlie.
Thanks.
So thanks.
Well, most of you already know they're up here, that I'm Charlie Woolley. My son Eric, this is his last picture. He was killed in 2000 on June 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning at the corner of Wooddale and Thorndale before it was reconstructed. His father was actually at the same intersection when his car was hit by a semi going over 60 miles an hour through a red light. Eric was in the process of making a left-hand turn onto Tawny, and his dad looked away for a couple minutes, and he heard a crash, and the next thing he saw was his son's car up on the parkway. He was one of the first ones over there, and they assumed that he was the one who caused the crash because my husband was a biker with long hair. And actually the man who caused the crash was sitting on the curb drinking a bottle of water like nothing had happened. He had been out drinking the night before, and he was stoned to the bone in the morning because he had a joint bigger than my thumb that he smoked before he left the yard. Luckily, and I know this sounds crazy, but luckily this happened in DuPage County and not in Cook County. Because in DuPage County and in the city of Wooddale, they made sure that they had a task force that came out there. They made sure that everything was in order. They did everything they needed to do. They crossed their T's and dotted their I's. They did a thorough investigation. The man went home because he refused any kind of breathalyzer or blood test. They did order one and got a subpoena for one. They did take his blood, and they reconstructed that he was so stoned that they have no idea how he even drove. Again, had it not been for the diligence of the community here and the police officers at the time, he may have walked free. Also, Joe Burkett was the state's attorney at the time, and he made sure that this case was gone to the 10th degree. He wanted to make sure that everything was in order. It took over 3 years. He was sentenced to 14 years. There is a law now in place that you have to serve 85% of your time. I don't care what you do in prison. You need to serve that 85%. I'm also here to tell you that he is out, but he is getting ready. We've been waiting 3 years for him to go back into prison. He was caught driving on a revoked license, and he had a DUI, aggravated DUI, so they're looking at about 7 to 8 years in prison. So I come here every year. I didn't realize it's been I guess it's been 18 years now that I've been coming. At first I was living in Schaumburg, but now I live near the Iowa border, so it's about a 2.5-hour drive. But when Chief Vespa asked me to come, I never say no. There would never be a way I would. It's my way of saying thank you to the village and to the officers. So you're very blessed to be in the community that you're in and have the people here that take care of you. I promised my youngest son, because my youngest son was supposed to be in the car that day also with my middle son. Had Nick been in the car, he had just graduated from 8th grade, he would have been killed instantly because it hit on the passenger side of the car, so we would have lost 2 of 3 boys. We lost our middle boy. But I always promised Nick that I would read this poem for him, because this is a poem that he picked out. He used to be at the corner and hand these flyers out every year, well, after Eric was killed on the anniversary, but the corner's changed so much now that it's not possible. The cross is gone. We do other things to help out, and one of the things I do is AIM. If you get a chance, look up Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists. It's AAIM1.org. They're local. They're only in this area, about 7 counties, and they help all the victims and their families in court understand the process and go through the process and help them with their grieving and help them financially if they can. So if you get a chance, take a look at it because it is a local group. We thought of you with love today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and days before that too. We think of you in silence. We often speak your name. Sorry. Doesn't make it any easier. Now all we have is memories and your picture in a frame. Your memory is our keepsake, with which we'll never part. God has you in his keeping. We have you in our hearts. Thank you.
So Charlie, again, thanks for all you do to help prevent this from happening to other families. We really appreciate that. The officers here today made about half of our DUI arrests last year. Other additional officers throughout the other shifts are, but these are the most productive as far as DUI enforcement. Between them, they've had 365 DUI arrests in their career. So again, from our newest officer to our most veteran officers that have been doing it for many years, thank you for everything you do. It really does make a difference. So first will be Officer Patrick Fajardo. Patrick, nice job. And then we have Officer Adrian Raigula.
Well, I'll do this first, but then I'll do this.
And
That's a few times.
Officer Dan Drost. And Officer Amanda Howman. So, guys and lady, thank you again for everything you do, and appreciate it.
Everybody look to your left.
Oh.
Now you, Sonny. Now you, Pete. Thank you. Search your left.
Good job. Congratulations. See you. Thanks for keeping us all safe.
Good job. Congrats. Congrats again. Congrats again. You're familiar here. Thank you. Besides getting with
Always in the way. Try to tell them to get out of here. How do they get there? No warning, Thank you for all you do.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You were coming down the road time to get here.
Oh, I wish we did the 70 mark.
Okay, that concludes my report. Mr. Murmas, manager's report.
Thank you. I had a few items. First, I'd like to announce we have a green recycling for the residents this Saturday, October 5th. It's held at Bensonville Public Works. They're having a hazardous waste collection there, and that's at Bensonville Public Works, but Wooddale residents are welcome to go. It's from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, October 5th. And then there is also a electronics recycling at Addison Township Highway Department the same day from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And again, Wooddale residents are more than welcome to partake. My third item is, if you haven't heard, on October 26, Wooddale Police Chief Greg Vesta was sworn in as the president of DuPage County Chiefs of Police Association. Chief Vesta was elected to his position by DuPage County's top law enforcement executives and has been an active member of this organization during his time serving on various committees and executive board during his tenure. I think he left the room, but
with
still,
the
it's
office.
important for the residents at home to know about this, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Consent agenda. If no objections, entertain a motion for 4
Second.
items. Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Peter?
Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley? Yes. Alderman Woods?
Yes.
And that passes now. I will entertain a motion. Oh, you didn't call Sonny.
Alderman Sorrentino?
You know, you're so quiet down there, we don't,
Just say yes.
Yes.
I had Shirley's copy, she scratched it off.
Now I will entertain a motion to approve the items on the agenda. Item number 1, a resolution approving a contract between the City of Wooddale and St. Aubin Nursery for Parkway tree planting in an amount not to exceed $14,260. Item number 2, a resolution authorizing the City of Wooddale to join DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau in a municipal partnership in an amount of $18,883. Item number 3, a resolution approving a contract between the City of Wooddale and Schroeder Incorporated for 2019 sidewalk replacement program in an amount not to exceed $44,406.25. Item number 4, a resolution authorizing the approval, excuse me, and execution of an agreement for the purchase and sale of real estate located at 372 North Wooddale Road, Wooddale, DuPage County, Illinois, PIN number 03-09-413-443. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Eugene and Sonny. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Wesley?
Yes.
Wesley, Alderman Woods?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
And that passes. Next, committee chairman reports, planning and zoning.
One report, an ordinance repealing the city's stormwater and floodplain management regulations in Chapter 17 of the City of Wooddale Municipal Code. That would be my motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Any questions on this? Roll call, please.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley? Yes. Alderman Woods?
Yes.
That passes. That concludes your report?
That concludes my report.
Thank you. Public health and safety, Alderman Sorrentino.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Public works, Alderman Catalano.
I have two, Mayor. A resolution approving a contract between the City of Wooddale and AJ Equipment for the procurement of the sewer camera with the installation in the amount not to exceed $94,833.95. That is my motion.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Questions on this? Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley? Yes. Alderman Woods?
Yes.
That passes.
Next is approval of the final payment request for Copenhagen Construction, Inc. for the clock tower construction at the northeast and the northwest corner of Wooddale Road and Irving Park, in the amount not to exceed $75,548.67. That is my motion.
Second.
Okay, there was a motion, second by Alderman Wesley, and this is the final number after the liquidated damages, correct? Yes. Mr. Murmas. Good. Alderman Messina, question?
Yeah, I think this is for Attorney Bond. So we had a little debate up here last week, right, about just kind of figuring out next steps. With this current vendor, would we be leaving with any warranty at all?
Mr. Bond?
Yeah, there's manufacturer warranty on all of the equipment that's provided in there. Obviously, if there's something that fails as a result of not the equipment, but some installation issue, I think we would know that by now, but to the extent that exists, we still have a contractual right to go after the vendor for any damages we might incur as a result of that. But there are manufacturer warranties for all of the equipment that's installed in that.
Follow up? Go ahead, Alderman Messina.
You touched on it quickly. Labor, so you're saying there is a warranty on the labor, and if so, how long is that?
Mr. Bond?
No, there's not a warranty on the labor. What we do is we would have a breach of contract action if we needed to, and we wouldn't know what those damages are until if we had to bring somebody else in, it would be whatever that contract price was.
To fix it.
That would be the extent of our damages.
Okay,
And
thank you.
again, the amount that's being withheld makes the city whole. It has been calculated, not only liquidated damages, but the contract damages as well.
Okay.
Mr. Murmas, go ahead.
Also, there was some follow-up information that the council had requested. Alderman Eugene Wesley had asked about payments still outstanding to H.R. Green, who managed the contract, and we did go back and look at that. And I think, Brad, you had maybe an exact number or a ballpark number, correct?
Mr. Wilson, do you have it?
I want to make sure I don't say the wrong number. But we did have enough of the liquidated damages withheld to pay for that number, and then we had extra. So we have plenty, but I just don't want to quote a wrong number.
Here's- Do you have it, Brad? Mr. Wilson? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Between design elements and construction management oversight, it was around $75,000 in additional fees to H.R. Green. And as we all know, the liquidated damages are not punitive, they're to offset additional costs, so that would be what those damages would be going to cover the H.R. Green costs that were additional costs that were incurred.
Okay. Alderman Jacob, you were next.
So, this is to Mr. Bond. In the scenario that Alderman Messina mentioned, so we would have to sue them then if something were to occur?
Mr. Bond?
Yeah, if we found that there was something that was not properly installed, at this juncture, that doesn't appear to be the case. There may be some failures of the equipment. Let's say the light board or something isn't functioning properly. There's a warranty, manufacturer's warranty on that. To the extent there is something that would crop up in the future, we find out that wasn't wasn't detectable at the time we signed off on the project. Now, you have to understand, H.R. Green, as our oversight engineer, has already made a determination that those the work has been performed, it has been performed in a workmanlike fashion. So they've made that preliminary determination. Is it foolproof? Absolutely not, and that's why the law doesn't allow us to hold money back just in case. It does allow us to hold money back for the liquidated damages. That was a specific contractual provision and other contract damages we've got. But if there is something that comes up that was not detected by H.R. Green that is attributable to the vendor or the contractor, we would have a contractual right under the contract to go after them for a breach because they are required to complete the construction in a workmanlike fashion.
And don't we have a maintenance bonds out there as well still?
There is not a maintenance bond on
Okay.
that because of we got the sign off and we had the oversight. There is not a maintenance bond in this project. This was an IDOT project with the IDOT specifications.
Follow up, Alderman
Okay.
Jacob?
No, that's it.
Alderman Catalano, you were next?
Yeah, so the total amount that we withheld from Copenhagen, how much is that?
Go ahead, Mr. Bond.
The total amount that is, I've got a little spreadsheet on it. Okay. So the total amount that has been retained, if you look at is $7,000 was other damages. We're withholding a lien claim of $10,000. So the total amount is $147,899.12.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Wesley, go ahead.
So there is still a maintenance bond on this, right? I mean, I guess you call it a maintenance bond, maybe I'm.
Mr. Bond?
No, there is the Department of Transportation that oversaw this, there is a performance bond. There's
Bond.
not a maintenance bond on it.
But we
Go ahead,
could,
Alderman Wesley.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
It's okay.
We could pull that though, too, if there was a problem, right?
If
Mr.
it was,
Bond.
if there was determined that there was an issue that they didn't fully perform.
And how long,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And how long is that for?
The, I believe it's a 1 year, but I'd
Okay,
have to
thank you.
double check. I know it's at least that.
Okay, any other questions? Let's do a roll call.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Messina. Alderman Messina. Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes.
And that's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Woods, Finance Administration.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Under other business, airport noise, Alderman Jacob.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Under stormwater, Alderman Wesley.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. And approval list of bills, Alderman Woods.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the list of bills dated September 19th, 2019, in the amount of $448,758.04.
So move.
Okay, we have a motion by Art,
Second.
second by Eugene. Any questions on those first list of bills? Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes.
Next, I'd like to approve the list of bills dated October 3rd, 2019, in the amount of $396,277.30.
So move.
Okay, we have a motion, or Alderman Woods, did you make a motion? Was that a
I
motion?
didn't on
Yes.
that one. I threw it up.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so Alderman Wesley
Second.
and Alderman Jacob second. Just making sure. Yeah, no, it's okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano. Yes. Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes. No items to be referred. We do need to adjourn into executive session, review of the official minutes and land acquisition. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in
Bless you.
favor?
God bless you.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned into executive session. God
Bless you.